freewheeling cavalcade of circular motion, thus defined by the octagon table of double-wide mental introspection and dedicated utilitarian outward thinking in defense of zero content. Translation: we ain't got nothing. Oh, wow. Been a long time coming, but we are now currently online, good to go, and ready to launch, and all the rest of the good stuff like that there. Coming to you now on Dude After Dark, another iteration of me being, well, probably more than a little bit like, well, me. So shall I say I shall just endeavor to do such, and we will move out smartly and all the good stuff like that there. News has been very, very interesting, shall we say. How interesting has it been? Well, it could be said that it is potentially, well, how do I say this without saying this? Well, I don't know if I would say it's ka sound guy, but it's definitely yeah, it's definitely a little bit screwy. So anyway, as we see ourselves, I am now kind of picking up the pieces, trying to go retro for like 2 weeks, as it were, and using the standard home computer. Marcina Sasquatch, appreciate you coming by, dude. Checking in from sick bay with a boxer's fracture. Trust me, I know those quite well. I have numerous ones of those. Good stuff like that there, or maybe not so good. Punching too much stupid stuff when I was a kid. And they said if you keep doing it, we're basically going to have to probably go into your ring finger and maybe get it to line back up because it'll continue growing out of spec, as it were. So anyway, did manage to stop punching things stupidly as a child and breaking fingers and all the rest of that stuff. Also running around with basically tongue depressors underneath your fingers, trying to play, straight finger guy for the period of time in which it takes to heal. Kind of looks more than just a little bit foobar. Anyway, so looking at things as it is, we do have some rather interesting news stories. And, well, I could be scrolling through and simply say the blatantly obvious. Things are looking completely screwed for anybody that's going woke right now. It is beyond hilarious how much these guys are now really seriously representing themselves in way, shape, and form that they're trying to say, yeah, 0.5% of the population is the whole percent of the population. And people aren't happy with it. So they kind of tend to bail out on them and good stuff like that there. And it is now getting very, very interesting. I do have some links and I'm going to have to cheat them. So let me just kind of go and do the way, shape, and form and do things as it were. And I'm probably just going to go north to south. But I'll get into the whole woke thing in just a second. But let's just say right off the bat, oh, my stars and garters, California, you guys, you guys are having more than a little bit of things are just not working out for you as well good as you think it should. In fact, it could be said that you're getting more than just a little bit of, yeah, because, no, sound guy, no, that was not that great an impromptu lead in for saying that you did something all that great to get the ding. No, you don't get the dive alarm either. Sorry, no. But anyway, it has now come out to play out wholeheartedly on the way things are working out in California with all their eco geek silliness. Basically, what it is they're not allowing the planet to work like the way a planet normally works. Just give me 1 second here. I need a swig of Tigger juice. Must. Actually, that came out a little sweet. I'll have to thin that back out when I get a chance. Anyway, so way, shape, and form, California is now suffering the hardship because they don't let controlled fires burn. Ever. Barry K. Sean, appreciate you coming by, brother. Martinez on the boxer break thing. My left pinky made a 50-gallon chest freezer move to the left by 3 inches. Owie. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. So essentially, the way it's working out now with California is they don't let controlled burns happen. Translation: the way that the planet basically works is stuff goes into a growth phase, it goes into a die-off phase, it goes through winter, spring, summer, fall, all the rest of the fun stuff like that there. And occasionally, lightning will strike and it'll burn off the ground fall of all the loose tinder and crap that's basically fallen off the trees, died off, broken off, ground cover that basically is leaves falling down, all that stuff is basically now sitting there, drying out, and becoming positively fire waiting to happen. Because essentially, the way things work on the planet is the sun puts out energy, the energy is stored in carbon units, which is then converted back into energy by lighting it off and becomes fire. Fire is actually the exhaustion of the sun's energy, which has been concentrated into let's just say a non-sun type of thing, because that's the storage medium that nature tends to use. So essentially, all this stuff lights off, burns, basically, chars the outside of the trees. The trees go, okay, it's time to regrow. And some of the trees are actually made to have a forest fire and regrow. Some of them don't survive. That's part of the process. Circle of life, as it were. So anyway, California does not allow ground fires and controlled burns to take place. So all this stuff gathers up, it gathers up, it gathers up. And then when California finally has a fire, like during a drought, like they tend to experience every so often, the fire burns way worse because it's all this gathered crap that should have been burned off at several times for smaller controlled burns or smaller controlled normal burns. So they don't let any of this stuff burn. They won't let anybody truck all this stuff out. It just sits on the ground and gathers and becomes basically one big ass gas tank just waiting for a spark. So anyway, it's now gotten to the point where California has pushed it so far that, an insurance company has now halted issuing new home insurance policies in California. This is coming in from truthpress.com, and I literally just had this pop up in my feed, so I got to talk about it. But one of the major insurance companies, namely State Farm, is halting new property insurance policy in the state of California to firm battles inflationary pressures and increasing exposure to wildfire risks. Translation: if they don't see it as profitable to continue doing it, then stop doing it. Let's give it a second here. Now, notice they're making mention this is only in California. In California, State Farm will, quote, cease accepting new applications, including all business and personal line property and casualty insurance, effective May 27, 2023. The firm said in a May 26 statement. The company, quote, made this decision due to historic increases in construction costs outpacing inflation, rapidly growing catastrophe exposure, and challenging insurance market. Translation: California, you made it too hard to operate. These guys are saying no mas. The company, this, that, and the other thing, they're doing it. They're not doing it. They won't do it anymore. So you guys did it to yourselves. State Farm agents will continue serving existing customers for these insurance products. The decision does not impact personal auto insurance. Yeah, but if your car goes woof, that's not quite nearly as bad as if your house goes woof. If your house goes woof, you're pretty much screwed. If your car goes woof, it's not the hardest thing to replace a car, okay? Sorry. State Farm isn't the first insurer to cut back on homeowners and businesses in California. Last year, the American International Group, or AIG, notified its high net worth clients that the company would stop renewing their policies. You rich guys, you Hollywood geeks, all the rest of you guys with all these high dollar properties, you're now, how can you say it, sound guy? But they are more than just a little bit, yeah, and it's not going to be fun, good times, and they will not have. No. There will be no snoo. They're going to get, well. Come on, squeal. Yeah, they're going to get that. One of my cats was climbing into something I didn't want him climbing in. So yeah, that's that's what's going on in California. Properties do not have the necessary fire resistant features like fire resistant building techniques and use of fire resistant construction materials, and also are said to be facing cutbacks from insurance firms. In a statement, State Farm said they will, quote, take seriously our responsibility to manage risk. We recognize the governor's administration, legislators, and California Department of Insurance for their wildlife loss and mitigation efforts. We pledge to work constructively with the CDI and policymakers to help build market capacity in California. End quote. Translation, go away. We're not doing it anymore. You guys can go pound sand. We're not spending a dime there if we're going to avoid it. The policies are null, void. Go talk to some other sucker. We ain't doing it. Patriot Fever reporting in Little Patriots 1, 3, and 4. Although 4 is asleep in his foxhole. Good time. Ouch, squash sounds like a 4-finger job at a minimum. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna try not to keep it too. Well, you know, things could get really, really, you know, very. It's spicy. Yeah, I could get very spicy, and I don't want to have. No, I don't want that to have happen when YouTube goes, "Hey, you said something that was wow, it's spicy." So I shan't do that because that's the last thing I need is for them to go, "Yeah, don't need it. Don't need it." No, do not need critical stop, okay? Unneeded at this time. All right, so anyway, look at the things as it is. His workplace was not pleased. Oh well, snap happens. Wow, man. So anyway, that's what's going on with the insurance guys in California. And oh, my stars and garters, that is just blanking standard equipment for those guys. Mm, 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 mm. Speaking of somebody else that's suffering the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, of all people, Tucker Carlson, well, of course, now on Fox, he has been blacklisted. That is the one word they will not say on Fox News is the 5-letter word, 6-letter word, Tucker. They shall not say that name, and is now banished for all probably time and memoriam, and in the future reference. Yeah, it's been banned from Fox News, but there is more to it. Yeah. Yep. This one coming in from Chadwick Moore on his Twitter page. Chadwick @Chadwick_Moore. Fox News employees have been telling me privately that all on-air talent has been banned from saying the name Tucker on air. And yeah, somebody else said, and how does the on talent feel about being censored? Yeah, and then Chadwick Moore said, they're anyone's dog for a bone. Quote unquote. Also, he said they're pissed off and petty. I don't care. I think they wrote a good book. Yeah, well, whatever. Oh, I'm sorry. That's what Tucker said. Quote, my tweets, they're pretty pissed off and I don't care. I think I wrote a good book. I'm proud of it. So Tucker Carlson apparently wrote a book, and that's now getting some notice. But there is more news stories about him with Fox and all the rest of that fun stuff. Oh yeah, obviously, he's been let go from Fox News, but there is entirely more to the story. Also from truthpress.com, an insider reveals who at Fox News was behind the Tucker Carlson firing. Now, this is not a great stretch of the imagination, folks. Oh, in the room stuff I'm not going to bring out. Yeah. Oh, Martinez. TMI, dude. he's going on. Never mind. I'll leave that. I'm going to leave that one in the room because it's probably safer to leave it in the room so we don't have anything go. Yeah, we do not need. No, none of that. No. So let's see. What else are we? Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, that one's staying in the room. Sound guy made statement on that one. That one is staying in the room. So anyway, from truthpress.com, insiders reveal who at Fox News is behind Tucker Carlson's firing. Yeah. So Tucker Carlson, quote unquote, also the article, highest rated cable news network in news in history, was taken off the air late April. So he's even more popular than Sean Hannity. Sean Hannity's been on the been on the airwaves for freaking ever. So he's actually more popular. I find that very interesting. So now new information says light on who made the final decision and who cut ties with Carlson. A new news report reveals that, think about this long and hard, Lachlan Murdaugh, the chief executive of Fox Corporation, and Suzanne Scott, chief of executive of Fox News Media, decided to fire Carlson. The power that Mr. Carlson, 53, wielded outside Fox News could not insulate him from the growing list of troubles inside the network related to his conduct on and off the air, some of which have been grating on Mr. Murdoch and his father, Rupert Murdoch, the chairman of Fox Corporation, who co-founded the network in 1996. According to two people with knowledge of the company's decision, it was reported. No. What's going on is he was talking smack about somebody, and they're like, we cannot allow this, right? Because this will look badly upon us because it'll call us out for what we really are. Fox News is not conservative. Fox News is not centrist. Fox News is going the way of the dodo because they're going they're going a hell of a lot more to the left, and they are not balanced news any longer. That was when they were operating under Robert Ailes. So that is not happening any longer. And I found some of the statements here to be completely indicative of a leftard way of speaking. So, quote, the host, a polarizing and unpopular figure at the network outside of his own staff, was exposed as part of a defamation lawsuit by Dominion Voting Systems as a bully who denigrated colleagues and sources, often in a profane and sexist language, and called for the firing of Fox journalists whose coverage he disliked. Okay, basically what he's doing is he's calling out leftists for being leftists, and they don't like him calling out leftists. And the reason why you guys got your asses headed to you by Dominion Voting Systems is because, oh yeah, you took it the easy path. You didn't go to court and you didn't fight it out. You did not win or lose in the Dominion voting thing. You gave up. Fox News, you are a bunch of sound guy. How do I say this without saying this more than blatantly obviously? Yes, they're a bunch of P ussies. Yes. Fox News, you are a bunch of meows. He's also drawn condemnation from the right and left for his role in fostering a revisionist account of the assault to the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, the outlet added. Okay, when they start stating the assault on the United States Capitol on Jan 6, first off, it was not an assault. Second off, it was a gathering of people. Some people acted up. If that is a violent, overthrow of the federal government, dude, the federal government is walking on eggshells, okay? This whole January 6th stuff that they keep holding out and trying to tack on Trump hasn't worked. It won't work because people can see the videos for what it is, and Facebook, YouTube, Google, Twitter, all the rest of you guys trying to give aid and shelter to whomever, people can watch the videos and they can judge for themselves what it was. It really was a routine gathering of people having a hangout at the Capitol. Some people acted up, and there's a lot of, he said, she said about who opened the doors and let who in. I tend to think that really it was a gaslight operation where there was numerous three-letter agencies with their own guys in the crowd rah-rahing this thing on and making it worse than it should have been. Facebook, YouTube, Google, Twitter, all the rest of you guys, ban me, block me, whatever you wish to see fit, but that's the way I saw it. As the network deals with this fallout, another report broke over the weekend suggesting more big names in Fox News may be gone. Variety, a very leftist rag, if there was one, reported a handful of current Fox News talent are contemplating throwing in with whatever project former top-rated host Tucker Carlson may be working on, which can include programming that can be broadcast on Twitter. it's getting very interesting, folks. And the thing about it is Fox is like, do you have the do not compete clause in your contract? It can be very interesting. But here's the rest of the story. To use the Paul Harvey thing, Tucker Carlson currently remains under contract with Fox News at a reported $20 million a year. So he isn't free to sign on with another network. Reports said his contract doesn't expire until after the 2024 election in January 2025. Variety also reported that Carlson was taken off the air as a condition of Fox's recent defamation statement. Yeah. On April 26th, Carlson spoke by phone with one of Fox News' 8 board members who was told that the host of his recent benching was a condition of Fox News' settlement with Dominion Voting Systems, according to multiple sources with knowledge of the conversation. Follow the money, folks. That's really all it is. They basically took it up the, how do I say this without saying this? They took it up the... Oh, no, sound guy. It was not the snoo. They got... big time.
But I pooped from there.
Yeah. Fox News, this is your theme song. It was not snoo. Okay, it was wee. All right, unnamed board member told Carson that the condition does not appear in any of the settlement documents, and instead was a verbal agreement. Okay, right off the bat, I am calling complete and total. Hang on, I gotta find it, folks. If I say what I think I'm saying, it is complete and total bull hit. Complete and total bull hit. Yeah. Instead was a verbal agreement. So basically, they're not even stating it was, one of those on paper in black and white between all 4 quarters. This is what we've agreed. If you want to get that $787.5 million settlements. Yeah. Okay. Folks, when you hear settlement, that means that they didn't do it in court and go, the judge, Thor's hammer, you're guilty. You're going to get charged with blah, blah, blah. This is the so-and-so that you're going to pay because we find you guilty. No, it's not chime. Yeah, that. It's clank. That's what you've been charged. $787.5 million to take it up the tailpipe and... Yeah, take it up the tailpipe so you don't get sued any further. It's a settlement. That doesn't mean that you said you're guilty or not. It just said, here, take this money. Please don't hurt me. Okay, that'll allow. I'll allow the chime on that one. Take the money. Please don't hurt me. Yeah, okay. Verbal agreement. If Fox didn't comply, the settlement was off, Carlson was told. Dominion had plenty of leverage given the $787.5 million deal to settle. Dominion's defamation suit against the network wouldn't officially close until late May. Okay, if I was Fox News, I would have worked that case all over the place because absolutely nobody trusts Dominion voting machines. They are easily hacked by auxiliary means, and people have proven that on many different occasions. And I truly don't trust the thing. So, yeah, Facebook, Google, Twitter, YouTube. If all you guys have a problem with that as well, be sure to ban, block me, and all the rest of that fun stuff because I don't trust the Dominion voting machines, and I think they're sketch. That's my personal statement on that one. The outlet report that while Dominion's defamation claims rested mostly on accusations aired post-2020 election on programs hosted by Sean Hannity, Janine Pirro, Maria Bartiromo, the company wanted to hurt Fox and as such chose to press the network into cutting ties with its most popular talent, Carlson. Now, they basically wanted to shut the guy up because he was making too many points and making them look like, sound guy, if you would please. Hit. We'll lose the S on that one. makes them look like shit. Big stinking piles. What? Oh, that's what you're okay. That's what sound guy's saying. He wanted to cut him off at the neck so the the snake would die. Yeah, whatever. Dominion wanted to punish Fox, and it's working. The damage was intended to hurt Fox. Tucker is just collateral damage. Those familiar with the matter told Variety. Both Fox and Dominion have denied that Carlson's Dominion was part of the settlement agreement. Man, if you want to talk a big stinking pile of bull shit, that was the closest I've come to cussing outright. Yeah. According to sources close to him, Carlson is reported considering considering the possibility of creating his own direct-to-consumer media platform where his large fan base could pay to watch him. The media was currently used by Carlson's predecessor on Fox News, Bill O'Reilly, who is currently hosting a news during Carlson's old time slot for the First TV, which recently became available on Direct TV. I already paid for cable. I'm not going to pay to watch some other guy, on some other quote unquote channel, streaming and all the rest of that fun stuff. I'm not going to pay for that. Okay. I'm just not. Let me look at the room here real quick here. Oh no! Patriot Fever. No, sound guy. Fox News Channel theme is the monkey who didn't get the happy ending. Oh man, that is just wrong. Wrong. Oh.
Come on, squeal. But I pooped from there.
You do not want to know how long it took him to make that. And it's just been sitting in the ethers, and he's just waiting for the opportunity, rubbing his little hands together, going, oh, he said monkey. Yes. And then, of course, monkey gets he's going to go through every single monkey thing that he came up with. Why? Because we're now dealing with monkey feces. Yeah, it's monkey feces. I'll give him that. It is definitely monkey feces. Oh no. Oh man. Dude, when did sound guy get the microphone to AOC and Kamala's love den? Yeah, I know the sound bite you're talking about, and I haven't got reference for him to play it just yet, but yeah, give him time. Sound guy, you make the barest mention of anything, and he jumps on it like a hungry, starving dog. So yeah, we're not going to mention Kamala. Okay. Completely fell off the tracks on that one. Thanks, Patriot Fever. It's like you just mentioned anything, and he's like a starving dog just going, there's roadkill. And he's on it. Why? It's not caca. You do that, okay? Stop. Oh, my. Anyway, back to the news, as it were. So yeah, that whole Tucker thing, man, it is blatantly obvious that Dominion made Fox News their ribble robble itch. That's about the easiest way to describe it. They made them their bizzle azzle rizzle razzle izzle azzle rizzle razzle itch. Fox News, you took it up the tailpipe on that one. Just give me 1 second here. Patriot Fever saluting. Great. We're now doing requests for sound bites and clips. Wow. This one I find hilarious. Of course, you guys know. Obviously, the classic, go woke, go broke thing. It's been passed around quite a bit, and it seems to be very, very, very true that you do the whole going woke thing, and it tends to blow up in your face because you're pushing something that's a very, very, very small minority of the United States onto the greater population. And most people are going, no, dude, no, that's not me, not into it. That type of stuff is not what I'm into. No, just do not into it. So anyway, if you look at the numbers and the gross averages of things, it can get downright freaking brutal if you're target right now. No, sound guy. No, they're not. Well, they're not caca just yet, but they are calmly marching their way into the. Most people really don't want to shop there now because you're really pissing people off with the whole woke thing. They are marching. Okay, they are marching stridently to the.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah, because it could be said that Target right now hasn't quite gotten to the point where they're looking down at themselves and going,
it was at this moment that he knew he fucked up.
Yeah, they haven't quite gotten to that point yet. But the reality of it is also, if people don't shop there and they don't give market share, the company is going to be in decline. So where's Target right now? Well, let's just say Target stock, and this is from truthpress.com, Target stock has dropped more than 10 percentage points since the company drew controversy for unveiling its latest line of XYZ PDQ LMNOP products. I'm probably just going to have to come up with some soundbite to describe all those string of letters that I just don't say. Since the backlash hit Target, the Minneapolis-based retailer stock has dropped some 12%. According to data published by the Dow Jones Media Data Group, this amounts to a loss of more than $9 billion in market value. Oh, my stars and garters. If you want to talk about something that really, truly hurts you bad, it's that. Yeah. I mean, wow. On Wednesday, May 17, right around the time the controversy erupted, Target's stock closed at $160.96 per share. So almost $161. Giving the firm a $74.3 billion market capitalization. But about 9 days later, on Friday, May 26, the company's stock had slid to $138.93. That's an owie, folks. That's quite a bit. In the midst of the backlash led by preeminent conservative Twitter accounts, the company confirmed in a news release that it removed some of its quote-unquote Pride collection clothing and placed those items in the back of the store in some locations. But the release attempted to cast the blame on individuals who are leading the boycott, alleging those have been seen as quote-unquote threats targeting Target employees' quote sense of safety, end quote. Okay, I can guarantee you with very, very, very reliable statement of fact, you could probably walk in a Target store. You would probably see those Pride things, and most people would just walk by and go, man, that's just disgusting. And they would just keep on going. They wouldn't have word one to say to any of the employees because most people know It's not the employees doing it in the corporation. The people putting the stuff out there is not the people on high going, hey guys, you got to put that stuff out there. However, if I was one of the employees there, I would tell them very stridently and very strongly, I'm not handling that stuff. I'm not doing that stuff. You can find somebody else. If you don't like that, I'm out the door. You play with somebody else. I'm not touching that crap. That's not for me. And if enough of the employees did do that, the company would then have to go, oh, crap, we got to get the managers to put it out. Then the managers would be putting it out. Inconvenience and not liking it. Of course, passing along words on high going, yeah, I really like my job here with all the stock options and everything. But you know what? You guys are costing me money now because you're putting all this crap out here that nobody wants to see. Yeah. That might be the reality of it. Is enough people basically say, I'm not shopping there. Then enough employees say, you know what? I'm not dealing with this crap. I'm not touching this stuff. This is on you. I'll quit and find another job. If that happens enough, maybe the company might realize things. But you know what? Considering the kicking the tailpipe that Disney has taken, Budweiser's taken, Miller Coors, Molson has taken. Molson, Miller Coors? Big conglomerates called. All three of these corporations. If you do the math, folks, they've lost almost 40, if not closer to $70 billion in stock worth. Are they stopping? No, because they know if you keep doing it, eventually people are going to just get used to it. No, what's going to happen is people are going to go, you know what? I'm just not going to use your products. I'm not going to buy your services. And guess what? I really, truly don't need to spend over $100 a day in Disney. I don't need to drink your beer. I don't need to use your blah, blah, blah. And I sure as hell don't need to go to your store versus another store. That's the reality of it. That's not a boycott. That's called selective purchasing. And most people are really pretty good about that. They're going to go, oh, I don't like this one anymore. I know this one is okay. I'm not crazy about it, but it'll work okay in the interim to maybe when this company realizes, apologizes, and stops playing these stupid social games any longer. That's how you fix this, big corporations. You stop playing these stupid ass woke games. People are not on board. That's how you fix it. And I love this, this gaslighting crap they're throwing out there. Quote, this is from the company. Quote, since introducing this year's collection, we've experienced threats impacting our team members' sense of safety and well-being while at work, the firm said, without elaborating on specific threats. It's not clear if any police reports have been filed by the company. Quote, given these volatile circumstances, we are making adjustments to our plans, including removing items that have been at the center of the most significant confrontational behavior. It said, wrong. When you start putting stuff out there that predisposes kids to being something that they're not, and you're selling satanic images to mostly Christian nation, it doesn't fly. If you want to do that satanic stuff, do it online. Do it someplace else where it's available, but it's not in your face like on the floor of the company. I can tell you for a fact, folks, there's lots of stuff that's available on Walmart.com you will not find in the stores. Why? Because Walmart.com is trying to act more than a little bit like Amazon.com. And Amazon.com is no more than 3 or 4 mouse clicks away from you looking at adult toys, marital aids, how do I say this without saying this, sound guy? Something to dress up your quiet evening at home that you basically have a silicon something or other that simulates having a date. Oh. Okay, let's just say that your date is not flesh, but might be silicone. Okay, that's about as blatant as I'm gonna be on the subject at odds. Wow. Okay. So anyway, like I said, on Amazon, you're 4 mouse clicks away from looking at something that you could go squeak, 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 squeak with. Okay. Um, mm, 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 mm. Oh, jeez. Patriot Fever. In fairness, dude, giving a big enough skeet launcher, those boxes of tucking shorts fly well. Um, I'm tending to think that they also probably could be returned to China saying, guys, you sent us enough fentanyl, you can have this back as well. I mean, the easiest way to deal with any corporation that's putting stuff out there that you don't want, you don't buy. And if you don't buy, they're now dealing with stacks and boxes and warehouses and tons of crap that nobody wants. They're going to realize that the liability of doing something like this for obviously the purchase, the outlayment of all those funds, obviously the stock hit, and then of course the lasting ruination of most people going, you know what? You lost me as a customer, and I'm going to go to XYZ store versus you. That's enough right there. I can tell you for a fact, folks, I don't shop at Target ever, ever. I do not even go to Target. The only time I go to Target is when I actually get some profiteering off of them because I'm transporting their employees to and from their locations. That's the way I make my money off of Target, is I basically carry their employees around. Uber for the win on that one. Let me go scrolly. Geez, yeah. There's another interesting news story from Target, and this one I'm going to claim complete and total Barbara Streisand upon. I think it is absolute. Patriot Fever. No, Target is not pro Second Amendment at all. Not in the slightest. As a matter of fact, you go into any Target and you will have a hard time finding any magazines resorting or relating or having anything to do with firearms, or maybe you might find like basically like some kind of like camping thing. Yeah. But their name, they just chose Target. Okay, it's not like they're saying, "Hey, we're the place where you go to because we're all firearms related." You can't even find ammunition at Target. Okay, you can't find any firearms accessories on Target. You can't find anything to do with firearms in Target. So Target is not pro gun. I can go to any one of three Walmarts in my area, and I can find firearms related items and ammunition. Okay, so no. Walmart gets the win on that one, even though they are really kind of like just riding that ragged edge as well. But they're not putting out the pride stuff the way that Target is, because they know Walmart knows there will be a redneck revolution, the likes of which they will not want to behold if they try to put that woke stuff in their stores. Believe that. But anyway, this one coming in patriotalerts.com. This one is excuse me, I have the sinus thing going on. Redonkulous. But Target receives a bomb threat for, quote, turning its back, end quote, on the LG XYZ PDQ LMNOP community. Target location in Utah. Utah? Whoever thought the Mormons were violent about, these kind of XYZ PDQ things. So anyway, a Target location in Utah was evacuated on Friday after the store received a bomb threat. And we got to be really careful about how we express those items, because we don't want to deal with things going really, really wrong. And, we got to be really, really careful because, well, YouTube, Google, Twitter, pick one. They're going to be dealing with problems because they'll just say,
no, hell no, I refuse, no.
Okay. Well, anyway, somebody said we are going to put a.
I say we take off and nuke the entire bitch from orbit.
Okay, they did not say they did not say that. did not. Anyway, so they received a threat of a device on board. 5 additional stores were also threatened in Ohio and Pennsylvania through an email that said, quote, we will continue to nuke you from space. Your targets, nuke your targets from space until you stop cowering and bring back your XYZ PDQ Element OP merchandise. According to a report by Cleveland Channel 19. Our target location, and how messed up is it that you have a place called Target that's getting device threats? Target location in Layton, Utah was evacuated on Friday after receiving multiple threats. KUTV reported the threat was 3 sentences long and came from, quote unquote, a bogus email address. Sergeant John Otterson of the Layton Police Department told reporters. Yeah, it's really, really, definitive when you basically give something from a bad. Just send the sniffy dogs in there, okay? Anyway, elsewhere in Utah, authorities said stores in Salt Lake City, Taylorsville, and Provo were also threatened. Police were alerted after threatening emails were sent to local news stations. I thought they could track everything with the amazing, 3-letter agencies, and they'd find out everything from anybody doing anything, any place, anytime, anywhere. Yeah. And then 4 locations in Northeast Ohio and another location outside Pittsburgh, PA, were also threatened via email to Cleveland Channel 19. Quote, Target is full of redacted cowards turning their back on the XYZ PDQ community and decided to cater to the homophobic right-wing redneck bigots who protested and vandalized their store, the email in Channel 19 read. We won't stand idly by while the far right continues to hunt us down, end quote. Okay. Consider you guys are dressing up like chicks with all the drag stuff. You have parades. You're really, really flamboyantly out there. There is no hunting. It's like, oh yeah, that's one of them over there. There's a group of them over there. Here's the parade. Oh yeah, it's the entire month of coming up in June to say that it is the Pride Month. If anybody basically describes themselves as being hunted, you guys are really, really badly executed, having threats put upon you. Let me just say that one. Quote, we are sending you a message. We're placing a BOM in the following targets, the email continued. We will continue to BOM your targets until you stop cowering and bring back your LGXYZ PDQ Element OP merchandise. Quote, we will not be erased. We will not go quietly. Face palm. The threatening email comes as Target is facing a growing boycott over its quote-unquote Pride collection for children. Notably, attention was particularly drawn to items such as women's swimsuits labeled as quote-unquote tuck, T-U-C-K, friendly, end quote, and designs by Ab Pralin, a London-based company known for creating XYZ PDQ Element OP clothing and accessories with occult and satanic themes. Yeah. I kind of see it as like that whole over the top, in your face. That's the only way to get the good attention is by being so over the top. That's the only way you really truly get the attention. Okay. Scroll. Oh, absolutely. Martina Sasquatch said you can't even get a good Swiss Army knife at Target. Patriot Fever. Going to set a gun magazine shop in front of a local Target as soon. Yeah, you know what? That'd be actually pretty funny. It's like, hi, look, here's your latest recoil. Here's your latest guns and ammo. Here's your latest blah, blah, blah. I have a whole rack of magazines they don't sell in this store. And by the way, I will sell them at cost. Patriot Fever. So if I decided to drop bombs, I do mean drop bombs like defecate, in front of a Target in San Fran, is that out of line? No, dude, that's par for the course. Okay, if you decide to go in front of a Target and proceed to, jeez, sound going. We've been eating too much chili or something. No, if you decide to drop, those in front of the store, you are completely legit, legal, and they will have no recourse upon you because all you got to say is, I'm homeless. I have rights. Really? Really, sound guy? Really? All right. So anyway, if you're in front of Target and you go, hi, This looks like a perfect spot to
Ew!
I think that's legal, okay?
Blow it out your ass.
I think that's legally allowed. Martina Sasquatch. Something tells me even the founder of the Church of Satan would have problems at this point. Well, yeah, I mean, I am not a follower of the Church of Satan, but I'm not unfamiliar with them. And Anton LaVey was actually not a bad dude. I mean, he actually said in their quote unquote, how would you describe? I don't know if you would actually say like their commandments per se, but maybe like their don't do it's in the Church of Satan. It says specifically, do not harm children. I got bad news for you. Satan don't get his rocks off by you doing obnoxious, nasty stuff to kids. That's literally what Anton LaVey was saying. It's like, if you're a follower of this church, don't do it. If you do it, your ass is out of here. Wow. Oh, jeez. Patriot Fever. I'm not taking that one out, but let's just say he has lots of help in the squash territory. 3 days of fish curry. Yeah, you definitely need 3 days of fish curry. Um, mm, uh, 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 um, okay, Patriot Fever. You could do smoked fish. Yes, smoked fish. Very, very popular in that area of the world. The Poles, the Czechs, any of the Slavic guys, that whole region. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Smoked fish is really high on the list. And while not curry, I would contend that smoked fish will hold its candle to 3 days of preloading before you decide to go and visit Target. I think you would do very, very nicely. Backing that up with some corned beef and kraut. Yeah. Oh yeah, Martina Sasquatch. Pickled herring salad. Absolutely. Fish and kraut, though. Well, you eat one meal. It's basically like loading a shotgun shell. You got, obviously you put the primer in, you load the powder, then you have the wad, then you have, obviously the shot cup, then you got to put the shot in. So basically think that you're loading a shotgun shell. You basically got to put the primer in, then you got to put the powder, then you got to put the wad, then you got to put the shot cup, then you got to put the shot in. So that might, or actually because you're talking the human body, you might have to do a reverse. So you got to do a shot wad, shot cup wad, powder, primer. You got to do it backward because obviously you're loading for, never mind. I'm going to get myself in trouble. Wow. So anyway, I tend to think that this whole Target thing is really, really gaslighting. So much gaslighting that really it tends to be spreading on both sides of the aisle. Well, obviously, they're going to go after Republicans first. But here's something I found very, very interesting. I told you guys last time about Obama being banned from going into Russia. Well, Lindsey Graham has now been issued an arrest warrant by Russia. Coming in from truthpress.com, Republican Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina Monday tweeted he will wear his arrest warrant from Russia as quote-unquote a badge of honor. Yeah, Russia's Interior Ministry issued the warrant based on a video released by Ukraine of Graham's meeting with the Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky. In the edited video, Graham said, quote, "The Russians are dying," end quote, and called the American military aid to Ukraine, quote, "the best money we've ever spent," according to Politico. I tend to see it like a hawk and dove thing, and really, the easiest way to say that you're putting the stuff over there, you're getting real-time, wartime testing of all your stuff. So if you want to see if your technology works, send it to Ukraine. The Ukrainians are going to go, dude, let's try this stuff out. Boom. Oh, that worked really good on the Russians. Boom. That really, really worked good on the Russians. Hey, can we get some more of that? Because the Russians really, really don't like this new stuff that we're using. Yeah. That's the way you basically expend your munitions very effectively. The only downside, of course, and of course, they got this whole budget thing going on, and all this stuff that we're sending over is obviously stuff that we should be using if we ever get involved in a conflict. So we are kind of cleaning out our warehouses of all the stuff that potentially we should be using. Pedro Fever, haven't even talked about Joe Dipstick or the debt ceiling yet. Well, it's been so overrun and they've been talking about it so damn much. I don't know if I can really get into it too much tonight. I mean, it is out there and it is redonkulous that they really should just simply say, yeah, okay, increase the debt ceiling a little bit. And also, oh yeah, go back to 2022 levels of spending. And I love these Democrats going on and on about, well, how could we exist under that level of spending? Assholes, you did a whole year ago, no problem. Everything was fine, and everything was completely funded up and worked exactly the way in which you wanted it because, oh yeah, you were in control. So to say that we're spending at the same level as a year previous and you guys can't muster the funds to make things work, that tells me you piss money down a rat hole, throw a match in afterwards, and just watch it go woof. Too much expenditure on entirely too many redundant things. Scrolly. This one, I cannot begin to tell you how cool I think this is, but it is completely badass. I wish I could come up with a better way other than simply saying ta-da, but ta-da will be it. So ta-da. PJ's newsletter, and this one I cannot begin to tell you how cool I think it is, but this is something that needed to have happen from that time in which they broached it and stated, oh, now we think he's doing something sketch. Yeah. Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas, that court case that supposedly we're going to throw against him, has just blown up in their faces. So supposedly they said there's well-documented evidence that Supreme Court Justice transgressed all these things by getting a ride with his rich friend and all the rest of this happy horse stuff. However, this has now been coming out via Fox News, which kind of makes me have like a bad taste in my mouth. But a friend of Clarence Thomas says there's a well-documented evidence that the Supreme Court Justice did not transgress judicial ethics rules by not disclosing vacation trips with his friend Harlan Crow, a billionaire businessman and GOP donor. He stated the judicial conference ruling back in 2012 concluded that Thomas acted properly in not disclosing trips. It also said he complied with ethics laws under hospitality exceptions. Also in April 30, 2012, Judicial Conference told Congress they reviewed the allegations against Thomas and concluded that, quote, nothing had been presented to support, end quote, the idea that he'd violated anything. So, this is looking completely badass. But according to ProPublica Investigations, there was an investigation by a person by the name of Mark Pauletta, said, quote, you cite left-wing ethics experts whose views are just partisan opinions, but I don't see anything in your original article that you checked with Judicial Conference. So essentially, you guys basically throwing this crap out there does not make it a charge that means anything. Nice try. Clarence Thomas, I salute you, sir. Keep doing what you're doing. You are the one great voice on the Supreme Court. This one I thought was completely hilarious. Who are we going to be talking about? Well, your buddy and my buddy. Yeah, that's right. Talking about, you know him, you love him. We're all kind of stuck with him, but we have to deal with Mr. Yeah. Sending Ukraine fish and kraut MREs. Oh, dude, you want to talk about gas? Brutal. So anyway, they did a Q&A, quote, basically walk up and give him one question. And they supposedly asked Joe Kaka, where are you in the idea of a president pardoning Trump? This was Peter Ducey asking him that one. And he shouted that at Biden just before he took off on Marine One for Delaware again. Biden cracked a smile and waved the question off before replying, quote, "I'll see you guys," and calling it a great question. Okay, if you get right down to it, considering that Trump was in the executive branch and it's the legislative trying to trip up one of the other legs between, executive, judicial, and, executive, uh, nice try. The time in which he was in office, he could make stuff legit. He could make stuff, don't talk about it. He could say secrecy, non-secrecy. He was the guy that actually said whether something could be secret or not secret, and would clean it out of the skiff. If you guys don't know what the skiff is, that's literally you go into one of the 3-letter agencies and they take you to a room and they say, okay, you're now in the skiff. Obviously, they close the door or they put you in a room and they say, you're now in the skiff. Everything that's in here, you can read, you can take obviously some mental notes upon, you can be informed about it. It does not leave the skiff until such time that it is made unsecure, or such time that it is made not secret, or such time that it is not top secret to any of the other bazillions of levels of don't even think about mentioning it to the ear of God. All these things are now in the skiff. As long as they're in the skiff, they are secure. They do not leave the skiff. So once something goes to a certain other level of secrecy, it then can leave the skiff. And once it's out of the skiff, it's then who will this be disseminated to? How is it compartmented? Which agency, quote unquote, this is the most operative term of anything that's secret in the federal government, do you need to know? That is the classic line of any form of secrecy in any component of the federal government. Do you need to know? If you don't need to know, they might even tell you that it exists. If you then have the prerequisite to go, okay, we're making you aware of, say it's, plan XYZ, 1, 2, 3. Plan XYZ 1, 2, 3 is obviously something that you are aware of. So we think that you need to know about plan XYZ 1, 2, 3. And you go, well, what about the corresponding information on plan XYZ 1, 2, 3? They go, well, it hasn't come out yet that you need to know the whole prerequisite and see the actual jacket. We're just letting you know that plan XYZ 1, 2, 3 is in existence. So if you need to speak on plan XYZ 1, 2, 3, and anybody corresponds with you about it, you can say, I was briefed on it to say of its existence. I do not know the contents. That is literally the steps in which they take. The next step they say is, okay, it's now proceeded where you need to be informed on plan XYZ 1, 2, 3. They will take you into the skiff and they'll go, okay, here's the jacket, XYZ 1, 2, 3. Look it over. Those parts where you need to interact with it, let us know. Those parts where you don't need to interact with it, you can skip over. So literally that person then goes, da, 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 da. Oh yeah, this right here. Okay, this is my compartment. I'll be dealing with this part of XYZ 1, 2, 3. Can I take this out of skiff and get it cleared? And they'll go, okay, we'll put in a request for that. You now are aware of this component of XYZ 1, 2, 3. You now close up and get out of here. And then of course, the night guy gets asked again. It's like, okay, have you been briefed on XYZ 1, 2, 3? And the guy goes, yes, I've seen it in skiff, but I can't speak on it. Okay, well, obviously, I'm now cleared for XYZ 1, 2, 3. You're cleared for XYZ 1, 2, 3. Let's go someplace private. We can speak on it. So that portion that he looked at, he now knew that literally is something that now he can correspond about. Okay, well, looking at XYZ 1, 2, 3, blah, 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 blah. Now, in my compartment, this comprises this, that, and the other thing. In my group and area of influence, this is going to interact with me in way, shape, and form. This, that, and the other thing, blah, 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 blah. Do I need to be cleared on anything else in XYZ 1, 2, 3? And the other guy will go, no, right now you're cleared on that in your compartment. That's all you need to know. So, and then it goes even further from that. There'll be little pieces and parts and correspondence back and forth. Obviously, some written and not sent over electronic means because they want to keep it secure. And then, of course, obviously, there's going to be, we need to discuss with you a project, but we can't get into it. They won't even talk about the name of the project. They'll say, we need to discuss an issue that's going on with one of your projects. The guy will get together and be like, okay, so what's going on? It's like, we got to go to a secured area. Okay, we're talking about XYZ 1, 2, 3 again. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, what's going on? And then they'll basically break it down to, the parts and components they're in, And obviously the guy will go in his interactions, and it's like, do we need to bring anybody else into this? It's like, well, they haven't been cleared yet. You're the only guy that's currently clear for XYZ123, so keep it as that. So if anybody else walks up and they're like, hey man, did you hear about XYZ123? And the guy will go, no, absolutely not. Can't speak on it. It's like, oh, do you know about it? It's like, no, I can't confirm or deny any part of it. That's literally what they'll say in the industry. It's like, well, I just mentioned it to you and you seem to know about it. No, I can't confirm or deny any component part of anything of what you just said. And they won't even say the name back. They'll just say, dude, I don't know anything about it right now that I can't say publicly. One way or the other, I know nothing. I cannot confirm or deny. And that's literally the way it works to keep the stuff secret, is they know about something in small groups of people and it's compartmentalized. And those people that are compartmentalized, they don't share information with anybody else unless that guy is currently cleared and gives the proper interrogatory to go, yeah, I'm cleared for you to speak on me with, XYZ123. Oh, so you know about the project. Okay, well, are you cleared to speak with me about it? And the guy will go, well, I think so, but let's go talk to somebody of higher authority. Then the higher authority goes, yeah, you guys can speak on that. Find some place quiet. Did I just say neat Bob? No, I didn't say neat Bob. I did not say neat Bob. Ugh. All right, so let me go over here real quick. But yeah, he's now getting snarky about pardoning him. Speaking of people getting snarky, I don't know if you guys heard about this one or not. I think this is going to be one of my final stories here, but oh, my stars and garters. You want to talk about somebody that got more than a little bit of, slap down. AOC had a gathering. They ripped her a new one, calling her a piece of S-hit. Wow. This one coming in from Patriot Fever. I'm sorry, Patriot Fever. Coming in from PatriotAlerts.com. I cannot begin to do this one justice, folks. This one is absolutely brutal. A Queenstown Hall hosted by Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez went off the rails after AOC was heckled by many of the constituents, with one calling the Congresswoman a piece of S-hit. One man said, American citizens before immigrants, where are you on the migrant issue? You're a piece of S-hit. The residents of the Blue City have revoked. Oh wow! The residents of Blue Cities have revoked. That makes no sense. Have revoked over the funds spent on migrants that are struggling. Other hecklers were mad at AOC for support of the war in Ukraine. Quote: Stop funding this war. There's lots of communities need help and need that money. Quote: You're trying to go to war with Russia. Quote: You're on the verge of a nuclear war with Russia. Quote: 100 billion for Ukraine that you voted for. Signs saying at the event said this is not written well. Signs SEET, signs seat at the event said this is not written well. Somebody needs to do some serious proofreading here. Quote: Americans first, vetted legal migrants only. Quote: Stop funding Ukraine. Quote: AOC, an obvious criminal. Quote: AOC, stop pushing drag queen story hour. They ripped her a new one. Patriot Fever says he personally loves how Cruz roasted her on Twitter. Well, you know what? If you're going to be deservedly receiving of that kind of, should have gotten it, you probably should have gotten it. So, way, shape, and form of what she's done, she's getting exactly that which she deserves. Why? Because she put herself out there. She put herself out there. All right, folks, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight. Good stuff like that there. You get a gold star for attendance for hanging out with me. Actually, because I skipped the week, you get 2 gold stars. So let's just do it right, okay? I know on a Tuesday you got many other things to do, but you guys decided to hang out with me, and I truly appreciate your kind attentions. So I'm going to break up on this one. So eat good, keep it tendering as always. You know what, you love it, and I will see you guys next time. Thank you so much for hanging out. Those guys in the room, appreciate you hanging out with me. Good stuff like that there. Those people in review, I truly, truly appreciate you guys watching my stuff. I will catch you guys next week, and good stuff like that there. I will see you then, and have a good one. See you guys. Finish.